Okay, good afternoon / evening. This is Mike Christensen. Calling to order United Methodist Men's at Colonial Hills business meeting for January 24th. It's approximately 5:50. So we'll go ahead and get started. Swin, can you go ahead and get us started with operating financial report and devotional, or whichever order you want to do it in, be fine.
Want me to do the devotion first?
That'd be great.
All right, I got one that maybe could use a few more prayers, and that's the message on peace, especially world peace right now. We could probably do a little praying. And the passage comes from Hebrews chapter 13, verse 2. Be not forgetful to entertain strangers, for thereby some have entertained angels unawares. And it says, my wife and I drove to the boardwalk in Ocean City, New Jersey, knowing that my sister would soon succumb to cancer at the age of 44. The constant sound of the waves was always comforting me, and Ocean City was one of my sister's favorite places. As we sat on the beach, sunset turned the sky magnificent shades of pink and blue. For some reason, I felt all would be well. Turning towards the rock jetty protruding from the shoreline, I saw a man dressed in traditional Scottish attire. He began to play Amazing Grace on the bagpipes. I cannot believe what I was seeing or hearing. My favorite hymn played with such feeling and emotion. I came to believe that this man must have been an angel sent by God as a message of peace and comfort to me. As he finished and headed down the beach, I watched him intently, wondering if he would disappear into thin air. So Hebrews 13:2 says, be not forgetful to entertain strangers, for thereby some have entertained angels unawares. I believe we all have opportunities to bring God's comfort and peace to others by volunteering, making a dinner, giving a gift, sending a card, or making a call in a time of need. In these ways, we have helped someone receive the peace and comfort only God can give. So the prayer, dear God, dear Lord, thank you for always knowing our hearts and sending your love to us in the way we most need it. Amen. And an update on your
Amen.
financial status. These are the numbers, these are the preliminary numbers for December 31st.
Okay.
Operating 1,135.72. Scholarships 3,680. Those were the numbers I got from Sally. She had her designated printout today, so they're about as current.
Are we on, do we appear to be on target with the scholarships for the numbers that we're,
I don't know how many we're gonna have this year yet,
okay?
but I would say right now you've got at 500, you can do 7, right?
Mm-hmm.
He had as many as 7. We rarely have that many.
Okay.
But anyway, we've got enough at least probably for this round that's coming up.
Yeah, well, I mean, I would love to have an influx of families that would, bring quite a few folks in, but I don't foresee 10 families with 10 seniors coming in, so, in your best estimation, we probably, we're
probably
yeah.
somewhere around 4 or 5.
Okay.
4 probably. But
Yeah,
I'm not sure about
that's what I thought it was. I actually thought it was less than that. I thought it was 3.
But yeah, it just depends on.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So last meeting. If y'all don't mind, can I dispense with the word for word reading and just kind of summarize everything? And when we did.
Please.
Cool, good. So, at the last meeting, we straightened out the donation of hours to, Charles for the Habitat. Was gonna look into the Chosen series that Pastor Dan was gonna be starting, or maybe not starting till January. Looking at possible doing some catering for that, sandwiches or snacks or whatever, depending on time. And, talked about, the supper arrangements of what we were gonna do, which is gonna come up in our new business or updates for today. Had an update on breakfast with Santa. I failed to bring this up until the meeting was closed, but there was gonna be start a study group over the book Wild at Heart by John Eldridge. We have started that. This will be the second Friday. We're meeting Fridays at 6:30 at Bill Miller's down on Vance Jackson. Okay, and the process behind the 6:30, just in case anybody wanted to know, was, maybe those that have 8 to 5. It'd be easier on a Friday, one day a week, that maybe they could make it at that time. So, and still kind of early to see whether that's gonna work or not, but we're gonna give it a little bit longer and see what happens. So if any of y'all would like to join, please come on. Unfortunately, I don't have a whole bunch of books, but they can be found at Barnes and Nobles. I ordered mine off of cokesbury.com. And if you just really don't want to buy the books, I usually print about 6 or 7 copies of the next chapter and bring them with me. So that's always a possibility as well. Anyway, and that was old business. Does anybody have any additions or disagreements to what went on?
I have an item to mention in your newsletter here.
Okay.
You talk about the YouTube channel,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to reinforce my prior suggestion that when to find the recordings of this, you open YouTube and do your search in YouTube, not in Google.
How do I have that listed?
You have it doing a Google search, which is incorrect. You might find one, but if you want to find everything, you open YouTube in your browser and you search in YouTube.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll make that.
You had it, I mentioned this once before, you corrected it, and then you went back to this, which is
I don't know why. I
difficult.
don't know why I did that.
I don't know either.
Anyway, because I didn't proofread it. That's
Yeah.
why.
So
wife
that,
gets me on that all the time.
yeah, that's what you want to do.
Well, it's not like I'm an author or anything. I'm just.
It's not really an extra
Yeah.
step. You
How
just
many
have,
times do I have to tell you?
you just have to open YouTube in the
Every
browser
time.
and search YouTube and everything comes up.
But otherwise, this, other than say open YouTube, that works. And the link doesn't work,
It didn't work for me.
huh? Okay, I'll check the link and see what's going on with that.
Once you open it in YouTube,
Um,
okay, then you can create a link from there to YouTube.
Yeah, well, no, that's where I got
It did-
them.
Yeah, but it didn't bring me up to anything usable.
Well, I'll check it. I don't know what happened, but I will try.
If you go somewhere, if you get to a particular recording
Mm-hmm.
by not using the YouTube search, I don't know what the pathway is. But
I don't know.
well, I know what's happening here. I think because he printed on 2 lines, that it would, when I clicked on it, I would get youtube.com. I was not getting the rest.
No, it's
It was-
separated,
It was
separate,
disjointed.
it separated it out.
It was disjointed when you went to the second line.
Hmm.
There was a space in there or something,
Might be, I don't know.
okay? Because it didn't. It
Didn't pull it up.
It didn't go past, you could see when you click on it, it was just doing that, just highlighting that first, not the rest.
Okay.
So that may be what was going on.
I will look into it and get it fixed.
If you want to do that, you can just start the link on a fresh line.
Yeah, well, I think I did, and if it's just a matter of if it's separating, then I can just take some of that out and just
Well, I'm
put,
just saying,
just put the link by
after the
itself.
word channel, just go to a new line
Yeah.
to put the link in.
Yeah. No, I know what you're saying. I'll get it fixed. So, sorry about that. Anyway. Okay. All right. So I will fix my mistakes on that. Sorry. It will get done. And then it will be published again on the 31st with corrections and everything else anyhow. So going back to family supper holiday potluck, which is no longer holiday, so we're gonna take that title out. I basically looked at about 5 different places and have narrowed it down to 3. One of the things I did look at, want to mention first is that I did went in and spoke to the manager on duty. I don't know if this was your person that you said you knew over at Golden Corral at
Rosendo,
no, it wasn't Rosendo. This was
he's the manager,
okay.
Rosendo,
Well, this
Hispanic gentleman.
yeah, no, he wasn't there the day I walked in.
Okay.
But what I was told about that was that they do not necessarily they don't reserve for less than like 30. So I couldn't guarantee that we would have at least 30. So I just kind of moved on because I didn't know if I told them we would have probably anywhere between 20 and 30. And what one of the assistant manager that I talked to, it was a young lady. I can't remember her name, but she said they generally don't do anything unless it's 30 or more.
If you get to talk to Rosendo, ask him if you can have the veterans room.
Mm-hmm.
You say you're unsure, it, you know, as to the number of people, but they host the veterans room sponsored by the American Legion Post 336. It's in the back corner.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a private room, and you can turn off the speaker with offending music.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see a bunch of people in there. We've had meetings there.
Okay.
But unless the place is completely jam-packed filled, you should have no problem.
Right.
With you know, with doing that. But if you mention the post and tell him that some of the post members are in this group,
Mm-hmm.
that he might be prone to let you make a reservation.
Okay. Well, that being said, the 3 places that kind of came up, and I don't mind going back if we decide that we want to go to Golden Corral, I don't mind going back and asking that, but and seeing if we can find a place with them. But the 3 restaurants that I talked to that seemed like they would be more than willing to accept us. They'd have a little room. Well, except for one of them said they didn't have a room unless we had 50 people, but they had an area that was kind of in the back corner that we could kind of sit down, and that was Luby's over on Fredericksburg Road. But I don't know what y'all think about it. But minus the Golden Corral, the three places are Los Azulejos, sorry, and that's down here on Military Highway. The average cost per plate there is about $25. They asked for $100 deposit, which I don't mind putting the deposit down because it's all gonna wind up going back to the bill one way or the other. And they said they could accommodate us with, most all of these places could accommodate us with a choice of, with a reservation, with a choice of say 1 or 2 entrees, so that we could order when we were there if we wanted to. It wouldn't be just, you come in and this is what we're serving. You'd have a choice of 1, possibly up to 3, depending on what we did. The other place was Milano's over here on Wurzbach. They wanted a $200 deposit. The average cost of the plate, again, depending on the menu choices, could be anywhere from 25 to 45. Did include all the bread, butter, salad, and non-alcoholic beverages that you could drink. If you so I'm not going to say anything. If you want a glass of wine or whatever, that's on y'all. I'm not a problem with that at all. They did say that they would include a 20% gratuity on their bill, and that it would be paid on one bill. So we would have, and that we would also have to have a guarantee of the number that would show up. So we would have to have a firm number, not at the time of the deposit, but approximately 1 week prior to the event, we would have to have a guaranteed number. Now, more than that can show up, so we would pay based upon the guaranteed number or however many were there, whichever is greater. So if we said 20 people and 25 showed up, we would pay for the 25. Okay. And the other place is Luby's, no deposit over on Fredericksburg Road, just inside 410. No deposit. We can reserve the little back corner up to about 2 days before, but the sooner the better. You can pay by your party. So if you have 4 people that come in, go through the service line and order whatever you wish from the choices they have, you can pay by your party, and the price is just going to be variable based upon whatever comes on your tray. I really don't care which one we go to. Golden Corral, I'm sure would be the same way.
You can close the door and have some privacy with not so much noise. Same thing at Milano's. I'm not
True.
Luby's is, I don't think they have a door in that area.
It's just glassed off.
Yeah,
It's just
my
glassed off.
my understanding is if I'm understanding, it's not Lizette. I forgot what her name was. I thought I wrote it down. Anyway, when I spoke to her, my understanding of it is that when you come out of where the service area is, it's kind of to the left and kind of to the back, but it's more of a, they can't, by fire code, because it's all in one large service area, they can't completely close it off. Milano's and what's the Los Azul, I'm mispronouncing it. I know I'm gonna call it Azules. I know it's wrong, but they have a little different deal because their rooms have a separate egress in case of emergency, but like Luby's and Golden Corral, well, I don't know, that other room may have at Golden Corral may have.
Corral does not have a separate back door that I remember.
Well, I don't know, but that's what I was told
Okay.
by the person at Luby's of why they don't have a separate door. So discussion from anybody?
Do we have any sort of commitment of how many?
Not yet. We can totally back out of it and not do any of this if we don't want to.
Well, I'm not saying that, I'm just
Valentine's, get the
wondering
others
about
together.
numbers.
Mm-hmm. Sir?
I wasn't thinking about backing out of it, I was just
No.
wondering about numbers, what we were dealing with, you know.
Right, no, we have, to answer your question, we have no commitment to move forward, we have no commitment for numbers. We have no commitment to any of the restaurants. This was something that originally started, and I will take total blame for this because I should have started planning for something in October for the holidays for us to kind of get together, and I did not. And it just kind of morphed into, well, let's just see what we can do as we move forward through the calendar. So like I said, we have no obligation to any of it. We can do whatever we want to do. And that's why I say open for discussion on anybody's part now.
Do we want to key this to a particular happening, a holiday, something like Mother's Day or some other thing?
Well, you got Valentine's Day.
Yeah,
Don't
The-
you have
the-
17th?
The target date for doing this was February 17th.
Right.
So there's Valentine's Day.
okay,
So
that answers the question.
originally, this was targeted as a potluck type thing where, you know, we all can bring a side dish and just, you know, sit down and have a relaxed atmosphere and have a little conversation and stuff. But as I said, you guys are breaking in a new guy here. So I'm learning that to do something like that, we need to start planning months in advance, and I apologize for that. And that's why it's morphed into this. So,
Well, if we decide to go with it, I'm sure my wife and I would commit. I
mhm.
mean, you know, we start that way and get some folks. Think Dan,
I'll invite Dan. I don't know. I'll be more than happy to talk to him and invite him and
yeah,
you know, reach out to some other folks and see if they would want to go as well. But like I said, it's, we need to, if we're gonna do it, we need to decide where we want to go.
Yeah.
But at this point in time, like I said, to answer your question, we're not committed to do anything with it. So I guess the first part of the discussion with this is,
nothing.
do we still want to have some type of supper on the 17th? And so,
Well, I'm not the boss of my family, so I can't tell you.
thank you.
Yeah.
Well, the next thing is do we just want to scrap it all together?
Cause it's not on Valentine's Day, it's gonna be.
No,
plus or
but,
minus.
well, this year it would be it's gonna be very hard to do anything on Valentine's Day this year because Valentine's Day falls on Ash Wednesday.
Mm.
So,
So before.
You won't get the pastor then.
yeah,
Yeah.
what's that?
I mean, we already have
you know, an Ash Wednesday service, right?
correct.
Yeah.
I'm assuming we do. I think I remember,
I think, yeah.
I've slept since the last Sunday service, but I do remember something in there about something being on Ash Wednesday, so,
I think. I mean, personally, I'd rather have it like a month later.
like in March.
Yeah, just because of the, I mean, you know, the possibility of bad weather.
Well, we might get Jim to join us. He said he thinks it's gonna be done. I talked to him this week, maybe by the end of March. His wife says, oh, we'd be done before that, but he said, I wouldn't count. No, I think he would be more likely in March to be able to join us.
So does anyone want to make a motion just to postpone this till March?
So move.
Yeah, I'll do it. I'll second.
Does anybody have any objection to it? All in favor? Okay. All right. Now, while we're at this. While we're at
Still
this.
hearing stories from the wife about the snow.
Yeah.
When was that Valentine's Day, 21?
That's right.
I wasn't here, so I mean, but you feel like I have it. I was.
Oh, I was here and I walked through literal, I know your New York snow is nothing, but down here, snow this tall that lasts 2 days, it's a big deal, so.
No.
Okay, so we'll postpone it till March. Now, while we're at this, let's go ahead and make some decisions with this. Do we want to have it at a restaurant? When we have this, do we want to have it at a restaurant? Okay, let's back up. March. Early March, late March, middle March.
When's spring breaks?
Spring break I'm gonna give you a generic thing and say anywhere between the 12th and the 20th.
Need to know, not, so we don't put this in the middle of spring break. People will be traveling.
I would say if we don't do it between the 12th and the 20th, we will be safe.
Yeah, it starts
You
at
must
11.
have kids that would be in spring break.
Is school spring break and
I have-
college spring break?
I have college kids,
Oh, okay.
but
All right.
I have grandkids I'm already committed to for spring break.
That's 11th. There you go. That's just 11th of March.
That's mid-March, starts March 11th.
Because San Antonio is such a diverse area for the schools and school districts, as well as universities. And I know that I spent 30 years in education, but I have yet to see a school ever have a spring break later than March 24th
Mhm.
in 30 years. So I would say, as a matter of fact, 22nd was the last day one year, but I've yet to see anything go past the 24th of March.
At the end of spring break, we're getting close to Lenten period, aren't we?
Well,
This year is a strange calendar year. We'll be close to Easter because Easter's March 26th this year.
Okay.
Mhm.
yeah,
The
So-
first week in March.
So that is something else to look at as well, is if we're looking at March, we're also gonna have end of March, we're also gonna have Easter. So, you know, that's something to think about too.
Think about doing it during the week, maybe weeknight.
Would probably be a good idea, in my opinion. Probably maybe a Thursday night.
What would Tuesday night or Wednesday night be? In March, the other week? Yeah, before around the 24th is a Sunday, right?
26th is a Sunday.
Yeah,
26.
backing up from there.
March 19th.
Or you could go the other way. You could go
March-
next Tuesday after
March 26th.
26th.
It's a Tuesday.
Mhm.
No, I take it back. March 24th is the Sunday. That's
Right.
correct. Sorry, my bad. I think that's Easter, isn't that Easter?
It's the last Sunday in March,
So it'd be the 31st then.
what I think,
30, yeah,
yeah.
31st.
Then Palm Sunday.
Right, so the 24th would be Palm Sunday. Um. But I think I think that you are probably right. The middle of the week would be,
Sometime, yeah, I would say.
in this particular situation, the middle of the week would probably be a better deal. The other thing to look at is, you know, daylight savings time for those people that don't want to be out at night. Will start the following week on April the 6th. So.
That late?
Yeah.
Really?
Mhm.
Daylight savings of the 10th.
Of March?
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I take that back. It is the 10th of March.
What?
Mhm.
Hmm.
Well, 14th. Like that.
12th or 14th is probably gonna be in the middle of spring break.
Mhm.
All right, I'm gonna pull this date out. March 27th. It's a Wednesday. If we do a restaurant, most Wednesdays at restaurants are not very busy.
Wednesday.
Valentine's Day. February 14th.
Ash Wednesday?
Mhm.
Okay. I thought, okay. So there's nothing the Wednesday before Good Friday? No service?
Well, I don't know. I know we usually do a Monday, Thursday, or well, I don't know if we do it, but I mean, a lot of churches have like a Thursday service and then a Friday service. And then, but I don't know if we're gonna have a Wednesday service or not.
Mm.
Or we can do, I don't know, we can go the other way. We can say April 3rd. That would be the Wednesday after Easter,
Mhm.
if we're afraid of running into Easter activities.
Mhm.
And I mean, what do you guys think?
Okay, and that's still before Fiesta, which is later April, so we're,
Mhm.
should be okay there.
Yeah, I would say between the 27th and what is it, 3rd,
Mhm.
April 3rd.
should be okay. Either one of those, I would think. Just a question of what's most available, I guess.
Personally, I would more prefer April 3rd,
April
but
3rd.
it's not. I don't want to be the sole, I want this to be a group decision. I would prefer April 3rd, but I'm okay with March 22nd, 7th as well.
Whatever everybody thinks is gonna be the best turnout, I guess.
If we go someplace like the Corral or Luby's,
Mhm.
then we're not committed to a minimum number of people financially,
Correct.
and we don't have to worry about dividing up checks and reimbursing somebody who's paid for the whole
Correct,
thing
correct.
on one card and all that. And so, and there's a greater variety of food for anybody, rather than just, Italian or Mexican or whatever. So I would vote for the corral personally, but it has the greatest variety of food you can get in the area.
Yeah, I'd say between those two, probably is our safest bet.
Okay.
Where's Golden for him around here?
The one you're referring to is off of, it's off
Summit,
410 and Summit.
yes,
Yeah,
Summit Parkway exit.
Headquarters Summit Building,
Okay.
it's right down, just
Um,
west of that.
it's right on,
Oh, okay.
it's right next to Cavender's Boot City.
If you go down to 410 off of Vance Jackson going west,
Uh-huh.
it's,
Exit after Callahan.
yes, the exit after
Okay.
Callahan.
Take the side road.
Oh,
So it's literally about 2 exits,
Three.
maybe 3. I can't remember, cause you got Babcock in there somewhere, right?
It's third exit.
Babcock, Hancock, Callahan, and then that one. It's not very far at all. I mean, it's easy to get to.
yeah.
It sounds like it'd be nice for the ladies, they'd probably enjoy that. We have a room, which would be nice. You said you have a room there that we could probably get maybe.
Yeah,
I can act, well, do you wanna, you have a connection, do you wanna,
I can do it.
okay. Then I delegate to you
Second the motion.
to look into Golden Corral. Or March 27th or April 3rd,
April 3rd.
okay. So April 3rd, 6 o'clock. Is that too late? See if we can get it at 6 o'clock.
That should be fine for anybody looking.
We can move it to 6:30 if traffic is an issue.
Yeah.
But, generally, what I've seen on 410 is if you're going from the airport, once you clear the airport on 410, it's pretty much good till you get to Interstate 10.
Right.
Once you hit Interstate 10, it kind of gets kind of weird.
If you kind of wiggle your way around, you can avoid 410.
Uh-huh.
Get over to Callahan and just take.
And
off
go,
the side
yeah, and
road.
go the back way through Callahan. You can do it that way too.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Uh,
easier.
April 3rd.
Yeah.
I just wanna make sure nothing on 1604.
No, cause that's, yeah, that's even worse. Okay. So we'll have a target. Okay, we'll have a target for having, just a family supper. We're just gonna go ahead and say at Golden Corral unless, at the next meeting. You think you can get in touch with them by the next
Mhm.
meeting we have? Okay. We'll go ahead and say it's gonna be April 3rd, 6 o'clock at Golden Corral on Summit. 410 in Summit. And, unless we hear otherwise from Bob at our next meeting that we're not gonna be able to have that place. So, and that gives us time to basically continue to talk to people and invite them and all that kind of stuff. And if they don't want to show up to Golden Corral because whatever reason, then you know what? We're still gonna go there and we're gonna eat. How's that?
Oh, thank you.
And I would even say this, I mean, I don't mind doing this, but if I wouldn't mind paying for Dan and Maria to show up. And if they want to bring their kids, I'll pay for them. Just, as a,
Why don't we just invite him?
yeah.
At one time, Jason was interested in the group for a while anyway, came to some of the
Same,
meetings.
well, same with Jason, I would say, because I mean, they're church employees, they're you know, I
We've
mean,
got money in the operating fund too, we could take out if you wanted, so it either way. Or you get
Well-
yourself reimbursed. And so, but I would recommend that.
yeah, okay. So we'll invite Dan and Jason and family.
You said 6:30?
Six,
Isabella,
and we can do as well. Wednesday nights that's Wednesday night. Isabella has youth group here.
You know, she's got youth activity.
bring the youth.
Then you're looking at transportation of the youth. So, and they're comfortable with that, and I have something on the agenda that we can go back to them.
Okay.
So anyway, so we'll plan for us, our families. We'll pay for ourselves, and we'll invite Jason and Dan and I don't know, is there anybody else that we probably should look at maybe for as a church employee or something?
Pastor G.
Pastor G.
You could do that too.
That would be, no, we probably need to do that, because if we invite Dan, Pastor G is probably gonna talk to me and say,
That's probably a good idea.
what's the deal, Mike? Well, the deal is Pastor G.
Pastor G plus one.
Yes, or 3 or 4
We
if
can
she
just
has
say,
grandkids.
This is her pastor's appreciation early.
You dang right. You dang right. And like I said, I mean, you know, not knowing what Dan and Maria may have with their kids as far as their functions, that
Well,
they may or may
mother-
say,
his mother might take care of the kids for him for one night.
sure. Well, I mean, if they have like a school
They have an activity.
function or something,
Yeah.
and same with Jason and all that, but I mean, at least we're inviting.
Sure.
So-
Let 'em know early.
Yeah, we're inviting.
Yeah.
And I will take care of contacting all of them and see if we can get on their schedule. And actually, do you want me to go ahead and are you pretty confident that we'll get it? Okay, then
Sounds good.
I'll go ahead and contact them, because I'd rather not.
I'll ring up Rosendo in the morning.
You're on it. Bob, you are the man. And I don't care what anybody else says. Right now, you are the man.
Well, he owes me because I put the switch in to turn off the speaker in that room.
That's even better. Even better. All right, new business. Just want to mention this. I brought it up before, reiterate it. Club Can Do from Mr. Jason. Sunday, Dan did a somewhat visual demonstration about how they cleaned and organized everything behind on the stage, the pulpit area. And what Jason came to me in November and asked if I knew of anything, or to pass it on to you guys to get in contact, or tell your wives, significant others, members of your group around the church to get in contact with Jason. He's looking at trying to do something like that once every other month, one weekend every other month with Club Can Do, to get his kids to clean, organize, and straighten up areas of the church. So
Not necessarily that area, but other areas. An area to be picked.
he mentioned specifically closets and organization.
Okay.
So
How big is that group, do you know roughly? How many kids are in it?
about a dozen,
About
a little more, dozen to 15. It kind of depends, because I mean, they're kindergarten up to
Oh, okay.
5th grade, so it's
Okay.
All right.
that's something that they can do with supervision
Mhm.
that is capable, they're capable of doing.
Yeah. Well,
So
we'll keep them out of the attic then.
I probably would not put them in the attic.
I've heard arts and crafts might need some help.
Contact Jason. And don't be surprised if he has a list and says, we'll put you on it, um, but yeah, I know my father put me in an attic when I was like 7 and gave me jobs to do, but I don't know if I would put other kids.
You know the attic I'm referring to. It's above the choir, it's above that back area. The
No.
choir room and rubbing, all that, there's an attic up there. It's mostly lighting and other miscellaneous equipment storage and parts of the organ. are up there.
I that would probably not be,
No,
not,
Probably have to be a hard no.
yeah, that might be a good idea. Anyway.
Mhm.
Back to the other thing and just revisit this. And I don't know, we had talked about and kind of approved to do some catering for the Chosen video series when Dan starts it up. So we really don't need to have a vote to approve this, but the question is, do we still want to do that? And the second thing is Dan is going to have an adult confirmation class. Do we want to expand it also to that? And when I say catering, I'm not talking about a full meal. I'm talking about finger sandwiches, little snacks like that, because they are going to be in the afternoons.
Oh, they're
the
gonna change
evening.
it to the afternoons.
I thought it was going to be, I thought it originally was in the afternoons. Am I wrong?
I heard we're starting it at 9:30 during Sunday school hour on Sundays, unless they change their mind.
That would be even better because that makes it easier to go get donuts and breakfast tacos.
That's right. That would make
Um,
it easy.
That's adult confirmation, right?
That's adult confirmation. Mainly it's for people to get familiar with the discipline book.
Oh, okay.
There's a lot of people join the church and they go through the ritual or recite art, but they never really dig into the discipline book, so they're familiar with what's in it and where you can go and look for things that you want
Yeah.
to. That's big.
It's basically, well, the adult version of it, I understand, is gonna be how the Methodist Church works.
Right.
So,
And it covers all the committees of the church. That's another thing it covers.
correct.
Which is,
So I think it would be a good thing to do.
yeah,
Um,
that'd be fine.
I'm not gonna promise that I'll be there to drop donuts off or, pastries
Tacos,
or
we can
whatever.
always arrange to get tacos like where I get them,
Sure.
because they're generally always open in the mornings
Mm.
and generally on Sundays as well.
And I think it's gonna be in the hospitality room, right?
And yeah, I don't know how many they're gonna have, but you can easily get 2 dozen there,
Sure.
no problem.
So,
Going back to Jason's thing, can do thing. In the sitting area where you drive up, where you have the handicap parking. There's a little sitting area there and a little, I would call it a flower pod. And that was an Eagle Scout project.
mhm.
And with this dry weather the last 2 years, the Knoll family, which has always kept it up, have not done it because of the dry weather and getting stuff, just can't keep stuff going. But that's a nice place to plant and have some kind of flowering. Plants there. You might want to go with something that's a little more flowering, but more accustomed to our weather. And it's a little bit more,
Climate tolerant.
yeah, tolerate the weather, and you still water it occasionally, but you don't have to water it 3 times a week. Like you do regular flowers.
Mhm.
That might be something that could pick up. Kids would maybe enjoy planting those flowers there, but that's just a thought. But that's something that I think looks nice when it's done.
I'll tell you what I'll do with that. Let me give him, just as an idea, let me talk to Ann Looney
Yeah,
and go through the trustees
right. We do
and
that.
see if they
Have
would,
any plans?
what their plans are,
Okay,
and then maybe pass that idea from trustees down
And
to,
maybe she would like to coordinate that with the area in front of the site, I mean, Northex, as you come in, maybe she'd wanna coordinate that combination with that plot that I'm referring to, so it's
Right.
running together, you know, something.
Talking about the area next to the bench?
That little plot area,
Mhm.
there's about, what, 4x6 or
yeah.
4x8, something like that. But maybe she has some ideas how to coordinate that.
Well, I know, I mean, not that I've been here that long, but I know every spring they always do a cleanup, spruce up
Yeah,
and,
yeah, yeah,
and some other stuff,
right,
associated with that. So, beings it is bricks and mortar,
right,
then
nice to coordinate.
it would be nice to coordinate through
Yeah,
them to
right.
see, if, because they may have ideas for what they're gonna do this
That's
spring.
true, that's.
So, let me call her and I'll pass that suggestion on that, you know, maybe, their cleaning and organizing and sprucing up could be, something done to those planter box areas there.
Does everybody know that the goal was met? The 250,000 was met
Mhm.
last week,
Oh, okay.
so I know that leaves them a little bit of money to work with. And I know a few people already suggested fixing the potholes that are very noticeable.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that is true.
To save on the tires, we don't wanna ruin our tires every time we drive in the entrance.
Well, I'll talk to, when I speak with Dan and invite him, I'll get information about, the firm times. I know he's been announcing it on Sundays about, the adult confirmation, but I'll get a firm time on that. And, also, what he's thinking about with times for the chosen stuff and we'll go ahead and
We're gonna do both?
that was my suggestion.
Okay.
I don't know why we would choose to do one over the other. If somebody else approaches, if another group approaches and says they wanna cater this week to it, and then by all means, I'll default to them, but I'm just
Yeah.
saying, I don't know why we can't do both.
Sure.
It's
Pretty
interesting
decent
because
turnout for the chosen.
I'm sorry.
It was pretty decent turnout, I thought,
Right.
for the chosen, you know, last year.
Right, they had a nice turnout, maybe what, 20,
Yeah.
15 to 20.
Anyway, I'm sorry, Bob, go ahead.
it's all right, this hospitality is already catered during that time. Lowe's Armor has the hospitality set up for,
Well, she takes care of the donuts and.
yeah, it's a whole table full of something. And, it's already gonna be there, and the church has bought that food, and they, you know, that's where the money that they collect out of their little jar goes to reimburse that, but that's already taken care of during that time frame.
Yeah, Bob, because, you don't have all those people coming to 8:30, that is gonna be going to that class.
So-
That means they're gonna go directly to that class when they come.
So let me just say this then. Let me coordinate also through her and kind of see, because they may have something planned already.
Yeah.
And I don't really know. My thought is this is a good opportunity to PR our group.
Mhm.
And
That may help, you know, the interest of others to jump in and help, you know.
Right,
You never
right.
know what.
I thought it would be a good PR thing, and so if it's a good PR thing to do it for the Chosen series, why is it not a good PR thing for adult confirmation? But again, if it's already been thought of, and covered by another,
Just that, yeah.
then, you know, maybe we can kind of go in and say, hey, can we help you out? Instead of you having, you know, instead of you having to do every week of the adult confirmation, can we do this week for you? And, you know, that way you only have to worry about the 8:30 service or the the hospitality for the 8:30 or the 10 o'clock service, 11 o'clock
I
service.
think if you have something related to hospitality, when you have these special events or special programs, that all ties in with turnout. It helps with the turnout. I think.
Mhm. Sure,
How much, I don't know, but I think it helps a little bit.
but definitely we should coordinate,
Yeah.
is what I'm saying, because would not be a good idea to show up with enough donuts for 150 people. Okay, so and also, I mean, you know, we are all human beings and have feelings, and you know, sometimes people get their feelings stepped on, and you know, my profession, people stepped on my feelings all the time, and I didn't worry about it. I just did my thing. So
That's what you get for being a coach.
yeah, no, it is what it is, but
Might get out of a class on that.
yeah, it's called rawhide anyway. But trying to become a little more sensitive and a little more politically correct to things. So let me coordinate with Lois and see if they have anything planned, and if they do, then we'll see what we can do to work ourselves into it, and if not, then we'll figure out how to do some stuff in there. Okay.
That's good.
Last thing and I kind of mentioned it already, is that we started book study over John Rutledge, Wild at Heart, meet Friday mornings at Bill Miller, 6:30, and we discuss one chapter at a time, and by latest is 7:15, 7:20, we're done. So if anybody has, you know, to get to the office by 8, that gives you 40 minutes in San Antonio traffic to go from one end to the other. Unfortunately, I understand that 40 minutes in San Antonio traffic may put you there right at 8 o'clock, depending on where you go. But, you know, if you left your house at 6:30 in the morning, sometimes depending on weather conditions and everything else, you may get there right before 8 o'clock, no matter what. So anyway, so
Tacos are good.
tacos are wonderful. If you don't want tacos, Bill Miller got a whole bunch of other things. They got biscuits and gravy,
Yeah,
and
right.
I even saw that particular one over there had grits, if you're a grits person.
Grits.
Yeah, myself, not so much, but you know, it's good conversation. I mean, it may not be conversation that solves the world problems and stuff, but you know, kind of gives you a little more insight to some things, and you know, makes you think about things in different ways. And
It's a book that you can read a chapter ahead, and then you can just have open discussion when you get together. Because you can just kind of bounce off of each other with what you read and how you react to it.
yeah, because you know, because
Interesting ideas.
we're all gonna have a little different interpretation of how things are said in the book and all that. So anyway, so if you're so inclined, please show up, invite others. If you're not, then you're not a morning person or anything, and I completely understand, but like I said, to me, it's something that I think is going to be worthwhile in the long run. So anyhow, other than that, is there anything from the floor that? Oh, yes, there was something, and I wrote it down. I should have it right here. Izzy, you reminded me of this. So Izzy is doing her Wednesday night activity for youth. Is asking for suppers to be provided like we did in the fall. I think we should do that again, but I'm gonna make a motion that we do it again. Does Second,
Second.
okay, um. Well, show of hands, I guess I don't need to call for a vote. Do anybody, does anybody have a particular date in mind? Or is this something you want me to just kind of do like we did last fall? Visit with Izzy and sign up for a date and just communicate it via email and
Yeah.
go from there?
See what their schedule is,
Yeah,
yeah.
and then whoever can make it, makes it.
Okay, that sounds good.
Yeah.
We'll sponsor, won't be Frito pies this time.
Look, we prepare all the food. I can't remember what we did last time.
We did.
Frito pie.
Frito
Was
pie,
it Frito
yeah.
pies? That's,
right.
yeah.
And probably made way too much, but I promise you, it didn't go to waste.
See,
No, that's right, yeah.
A lot of times they'll have 20 to 30, depending on, there's a few parents that come, or some older. Not teenagers, but older, young 20s that come also.
Hungry college
I
kids,
remember, yeah.
hungry
Charles
college
Moore
kids
was
when
always
they
on
hear
the
free
Charles
food.
Moore, yes.
His sister, his older sister's Johnny there.
Yeah,
Uh-huh,
They're kind of the helpers.
yeah, I remember now.
but, you know, the feedback I got from Izzy when we did that was that the youth were very appreciative. They were glad it wasn't a casserole.
That's it,
I
yeah.
was gonna ask, what kind of food do they prefer?
Not,
Filet mignon.
not casseroles,
Casserole.
not casseroles and not frozen pizza.
Right.
Because when, or regular pizza, because when Izzy when Izzy doesn't have a sponsor or, a lot of times some of the sponsors think, oh, well, it's teenagers, we'll just order pizza, and it's like, so they eat a lot of pizza. Which the kids love it, but you know, it's kind of like everything else, it's,
Too much.
yeah,
Another thing they like, and I told Izzy I'd help her try to keep that in stock. HEB has chocolate covered
ice cream.
When they're reasonable. So I said, I'll try to keep the stock in those, because they things go real fast.
Yeah.
That, and that in those little chip box, what do you call it?
Oh,
Chips
the
and
snack size, yeah, 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 Pringles, they'll eat Pringles too, anyway, yes, sir.
Recently, Christian Schrader, our school principal, some school.
Oh, okay,
Was
okay.
talking about, she thanked me for helping set up, with Jason, their, video
Mm-hmm,
screen and sound for
the Christmas deal
well,
that they did.
no, this is a recurring thing for youth movie night or something,
Oh, okay.
okay? So might want to ask her if she has needs related to that.
Actually, it's funny you bring that up because, just before, we did the, pulled pork sandwiches for the, what did we wind up calling that thing? Holiday market?
Yeah, the holiday
right.
market.
The
yeah.
holiday market. I actually spoke with her. Excuse me, I spoke with her because, the only thing I can relate it to was, one school that I used to work at, they had our school district rather, they had a program for one of the younger schools. It was called Dads on Patrol. And what it was is some of the dads would just come in, and they just walk the hallways, you know, periodically, this and that. And I asked her because, Jason mentioned something to me about it as well, to talk with her. And, when I talked with her about it, wasn't, you know, just if they needed anything or, you know, someone to come in and read stories or, any of that kind of stuff, she said at that time she had it covered.
Mhm.
And if she needed something, because I told her, I said, well, if y'all need something, just call us. I mean, call me, we'll disseminate some stuff out and we'll do what we can to help you out. We're trying to help you in any way possible if you need it. And she's thanked me very much and hasn't been in contact since.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna take her at her word. And then when the school year starts up again next year, I'll go up or during the summer when they have the day school with the littles,
Mhm.
I'll ask them as well and see if we can help them out, but that they're,
Well, I think that, I'm not sure how many times they've had it, but I know they had it in December. And apparently was well attended. I don't know much about the program and what they do, but they have a bunch of kids there, fills
Mhm.
up the gym.
well, I even told her, I said, if we can just be there to help monitor. I mean, make sure serve popcorn or, whatever. She said she had it covered, so I was, all right. Well, we're here to help. Keep us in mind if you have something.
They may have enough parents that participate.
Well, I do think one of the things that they do when they do have nights like that is I think they do require some sort of, maybe not every parent, but every parent do some sort of participation throughout the year. And because of that they may have enough there, but like I said, I'm willing to help, but I don't want to intrude. So, you have it covered, you got it covered, but give me a call if not. So anyway, which I like little kids. I'd like to read stories to them because you never know what they're gonna say.
That's true.
But anyway, so so with that, I'll get back in touch with Izzy and look and see what her schedule is, communicate everything via email, and we'll come up with something. I don't know what we'll do. I mean, but number one, we'll figure out a date to provide something and then figure out a meal to go from there. Everybody, hot dogs are easy.
gonna say gumbo.
There you go.
If I make gumbo, I gotta have it pretty hot. But yeah, you're right. It's not easy. It's easy, but it just takes a lot. Yeah, it's easy, but anyway. But yeah, we'll figure out something once the date is done and kind of go from there. I mean, it's not gonna be a prefect meal or, white tablecloth service, but they kids, the youth don't want that. They wanna grab it and sit on the couch and eat. So anyway. Other than that, does anybody have anything from the floor like to bring up, discuss, or?
Did a good job.
Well, I'm so glad that we met our goal for the year with the debt retirement
Yeah,
or
yeah.
whatever campaign it was called. So
So they passed that last 10.
We went over 250 last weekend.
yeah.
Great.
So so since all the business has been discussed and cussed and discussed and whatever else and fussed over, meeting is now adjourned. Anybody have a second? All in
Second.
favor?
Aye.
Aye. And anything after here, it's pure conversation between all of us. So,
Off the record.
there we go.
Record is off.